Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So in today's video we are going to learn how we can draw flower fields. I'm going to keep Aster flower as my main flowers, and then I'm going to create some foliages and some leaves and all those things to fill the area. To do this you can use normal pencil or you can use normal ball pen as well. I'm going to use these two sizes of needle pen. One is 08 and one is 01. Definitely you can use normal ball pen as well to start with. First we're going to draw all the flowers, main flowers, in different perspectives. So I have created this a box in between my sheet. So this is not important, but if you want to define your area for the flowers and for the flower fields that you want to draw, you can do something like this. So let's start with the perspective of the flowers, because this is something very important to learn when it comes to the group of flowers. So let me draw an oval shape with the help of pencil. So I'm using pencil to create some basic outline for ourselves, and then we are going to trace things with the help of pen. So I have created an oval shape tilted towards the left side because the flower perspective is more towards the left side. And then you can create a normal perspective as well. So for the normal perspective, it means the flower is facing towards you and you can see everything about this particular flower. So I'm creating a round shape. Now I'm creating one more oval shape which is tilted towards the right side because flower itself is tilted towards the right side. So these two are left and right, and one round shape for the normal perspective. Now you need to divide this into two equal halves. So you will see two area. So in the upper section of oval shape we need to create the ovary of the flower. The ovary of the flower means center part of the flower, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for both left and right perspective. Now for the normal perspective, you can keep the ovary of the flower in the center. Now how much distance you have from the circumference of the circle and the ovary, that defines the length of the petals. So bigger the space means longer the petal, and smaller the space means smaller the petal. So based on your shape of the flower and center part, you can define all the petals. These are very fine petal in a oval kind of shape, not pointed. And you can create some foreground petals, and then you can create some background petals as well to keep it little bushier. So you can create petals like this in between as well, and something like this you can do for all the flowers that we are going to draw. So these are my petals. You can make it little bushier if you want to, creating background petals. Background petals means creating one petal in between two petals. And then for the center part of the flower, I'm creating round shape, smaller in size, to fill the middle negative space, and then dots around the center part. So this is more of a flower tilted towards the left side. Now we need to repeat the same thing for the right side as well. So whenever it comes to the perspective, you can think about in which direction you want to keep your flower, and then accordingly you can draw an oval shape and follow the same process like we did for these two flowers. Now when it comes to the normal perspective, I think this one is the easiest one. So create the ovary, create the dots, and then create the petals. So create the foreground petals, and then you can add multiple background petals into it to make it little bushier. Now we are done with these three flowers. I'm going to show you two more perspective, but let's complete the rest other things. So you can create a small base of the flower which we usually see in the green, and for the normal perspective we don't need this base of the flower as this is behind the flower. And then you can create stems. I have created box, so I'm creating all these things until the box, but I have created one flower which is little bit outside the box, and I did it purposefully. So you can do something like this if you want to. Now contour the base with some lines and patterns in it. Now you can also create some flower birds. So for the flower bird you need to create round smaller structure in between. So I'm creating 4 to 5 flower birds in it. You can keep the flower bird very closed, like it has not bloomed yet, or you can create few flower birds with little petals in it to make it look like it is about to bloom. So we have created the basic guideline for all the birds. Now let me show you one more perspective. So this is more like we are seeing the backside of the flower. So divide the flower into 4 equal quarters, and then you can create the base of the flower inside this circle. So I have created the base of the flower inside the round shape and on the lower section. And then you can create petals as per the space that you have. So few smaller petals at the base and few bigger petals at around the upper area. So this is the flower wherein we are seeing the back side of the flower, and then you can contour and cross contour the base of the flower like we did for the other flowers. So this is one perspective. Now let me finish the flower birds. So for the flower birds we need to create some lines like this to make it look like this is not yet bloomed and all the petals are there. And we need to repeat the same thing for all the flower birds which we want to create in a closed form, because as I have told you, we are going to create few flower birds which is little bit open. So for that one you need to create the smaller base and then few petals which we can see. This is more like this is about to bloom, and then you can create multiple flower birds which is not yet bloomed, the closed bud. So you can create as many as you want based on your need, and then you can create a stem. Now let me show you one more perspective. So this one is facing towards the sky. So again we need to create an oval shape. This one is little finer oval shape, and then you can create the ovary of the flower above to the oval shape and the base of the flower. So this is the basic structure that we have created. Now you can create the base of the flower and contour and cross contour it a little bit, and then you can create petals around the oval shape that we have created. So this time the ovary of the flower is in the top. So basically we are seeing the ovary but little bit, and rest other things are flower. This is more like this flower is facing towards the sky. So this is again one more perspective, and we are done with the flowers. Now you can add leaves in between. So leaves are very simple. These are small pointed leaves attached with the stems like this. You can create multiple leaves as you want. Basically we need to fill this particular area with leaves and flowers in it. So I'm creating multiple leaves in between around all the stems that we have, and then you can do some extra stem and extra leaf pattern around it until you will get satisfaction with your basic structure. So I'm creating more and more leaves. And then you can create few more flowers if you want to. I think we should create one more flower here. So let me create it, and this is the basic structure that we need. So I have created something like this. So I have created two more flower bud, one closed and one little bit open. Now we are done with the flowers, we are done with the leaves. Now you can do little bit of extra detailing into the flowers and leaves as well. So for the flowers I'm adding one line in between the petals. So you don't have to do it for all, but if you can do for all the foreground petals at least, it would be better for you. And then you can do a little bit of cross contouring and contouring in the leaf section as well. So I'm not doing it for all the leaves, I'm doing it for few, because these leaves are anyways very smaller, so I think it's fine to do for a couple of the leaves. Now as we have border, we have box wherein we have created all these flowers. I have told you I have created one flower outside the box, so likewise you can create the outline for the box. So I'm creating two lines. One is mixed of solid and dotted line. Repeat the same thing throughout, and then you can create one line solid throughout. So I'm creating a solid line and a mix of solid and dotted line. So basically I have created two lines for the border. So that is something you can do if you have border defined for yourself. And then you can do some zigzag pattern in between. So I'm doing it just to fill the area a little bit, to make it look like these are the foliages in between these flowers that we have. So I'm just randomly going through the negative space that we have and adding some zigzag pattern into it. So something like this you can do, although this step is not important or necessary. So you can keep your flower fields like this is also fine, and nothing wrong in this, keeping your flower field drawing like this. But I like to do little bit of hatching process to create some background. So hatching means creating parallel lines. So I'm not doing throughout the box, but I'm going to do around the area where we have defined our flowers. So I'm creating lines parallel to each other. The closer the line is, the more darker shade you will get, and I'm doing all these lines with the help of fine pen, which is 01 mm. So I'm going through all the negative space also in between that we have around the foliages, leaves and flowers, and I'm also creating these lines around the sky area. Now hatching is fine, you can do some cross hatching as well in between. So I'm going to do in between, not throughout, some cross hatching as well. Again, cross hatching means creating some cross lines around the parallel lines that we have created. Again, more lines means more dark shade you will get. So we are almost done with this drawing. So hope this video is helpful for you guys. Please do let me know if you guys have any kind of feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching my videos. See you guys in the next video.